So the whole idea behind this is that we want you to be able to participate, and not everyone's going to participate at every level, but the easiest way to start is consuming and then putting these resources together for yourself to use at a later time in between these two. And then the real power of FOAMed kind of comes in at this comment stage. The last is obviously create. And I think the thing that I just want to touch on last here is kind of addressing quality at each of these levels. We want to ensure that whatever it is that we're making or that we're looking at is of high quality. And this can be really difficult because not a lot of research has gone into, well, how do I know what I'm reading is just garbage? You know, who's this person on the other end that's authoring this? And these have been a lot of the criticisms of using these type of resources in formal education. And so let's dive a little bit into that. So this is a simple tool. You can literally go to Google and type in FOAMed quality checklist for blogs, and this will be the #1 thing that pops up. There's also a podcast version of this, which is really great for those of you that like to use podcasts. And so what the whole idea is that we want to ensure the quality of the resources that we're using. And the cool thing what these authors did was they looked at, hey, for people that are making blogs, these are some checklist things that you should follow. For those that are curating and those that are editing, these are some things you should follow. And for end user, these are some ideas and some ideas that you want to use. And so these just are yes, no check boxes. And the whole idea behind this isn't necessarily a total score, but it's the overall the overall picture of all of these things that you're looking at. So is the person that did this, post credible? Do the creators, do they have their conflicts of interest listed? Is there any financial things? And if these things aren't disclosed on the site, then it's just a red flag for you to consider, like, hey, maybe this isn't the top quality thing that I'm looking for. And this puts the onus on the people that are creating these things to include these things, right? So like with any evidence-based, with peer review process, we want to ensure that we're disclosing things. Is the resources clear that the author has used? Are they well qualified to provide this information? And if they're not, is there an expert peer reviewer that's kind of ensuring and double checking those things? And so it looks like a lot, but I think if you read through this once or twice, you can kind of get an idea in your mind. These are the kind of the things that I should recognize as a good quality resource. It goes on to talk about the accuracy of information. Is there content to the resource presented in a logical, clear, coherent way? And some of these things are a little subjective, right? But it's kind of designed to be. These are, complicated kind of resources, and we want to ensure that everybody kind of has their ideas met. And then the last is kind of design. Is it an easy thing and quality? Is it look good? Is it useful for its intended audience? Those sort of things. And so it's easy to get lost in the weeds with this because it's a huge long checklist, and I don't pull this out every time I look at a new resource. But I think if you familiarize yourself with some of the materials there, some of the items that are there, it gives you maybe a new perspective on what you deem as a kind of a quality resource. So the easy way is there's a couple additional resources, and this is a little bit more EM focused, but this LEM group, so the Academic Life and Emergency Medicine blog, they have this AIR Approved Instructional Resources series, and what this does is it gives them a tool. They created this tool to kind of analyze a lot of these FOAMed resources and kind of put their stamp of approval on it and say, hey, these are accurate, this is accurate, these are high quality materials, and you can use these. You can actually get official education credit for residency education utilizing a lot of these resources. All right, and so this tool is widely published, and again, it looks complicated, but if you go through it and you look at each one of these categories, it talks about accuracy. How useful is it? Is it novel? Is there any good pearls in it? Is it just garbage? Is it referenced well? All those different things. These are just big categories that we need to kind of consider when we're considering what's a good resource. Just real brief as you guys walk out, there's a new set of criteria that are coming out that'll be easy to use, like 5 or 8 items, and we're studying those right now.